Click the subscribe button below. If you find the information useful, please click the like button, to help others find our content. For more information you can visit our website, at thejerusalemassembly.org.
January 6, 2020, The Butterfly Model of Humanity Transformation, by Ruben D. Garcia. Greetings my beloved readers, and friends. Today is but our 6th day of the year 2020, and in some respect it may seem that little has taken place or the existence of an unusual event. But not be deceived by the tranquility of these past days. Much in the spiritual and heavenly realm has taken place, and much more lies ahead for 2020. Be not fearful of the recent news within the political arena, social unrests, or emotional quandaries that affecting our beloved Earth, and of course humanity. Yes, some of you are experiencing various degrees of emotional levels. Some are new to you, and brings about some degrees of confusion, and may even question the motives that brought about such ill feelings. But do not be in fear or be anxious, these all part of period of purging our minds in which consciousness remains the dominant factor. The process is very simple. For thousands of years, humanity had to experience all the various levels of emotionality. For most part, negative emotions ran wild with little hope to be eradicated. However, once in a while a figure would appear to remind us that there was another version to existence in which peace and love dwell for all times. It is this trend of positive regards that humanity is currently experiencing. The purging is to be short-lived for some, and for others, of course will take a little more of time, but all of humanity on this earth will be cleansed, and purge of all of those negative emotions that has encrusted our divine nature of good, love, and compassion. Therefore, it will not be unusual for a quiet, placid, and easy-going person to suddenly burst into an emotional estate in which bewilders those that have known him. The effects are not personal-driven but the results of massive divine, celestial, intervention to accommodate the principles of unconditional love, and peace. Simply putting it, we are like little children that play with matches, and had been warned that continuing playing with matches we could be experience the pain of a burn. Of course, as all of us have experienced the old motto, going beyond the envelope, we would not listen until we experience the painful pain of a burn. Then, from that day we respect fire, and in many cases we feared it. That is why we are being placed in what I call it a form of a basic training, a celestial, and divine influenced training affecting directly our consciousness for the new consciousness to exist in humanity as the pillars of the future humanity coexisting with a new earth. The old consciousness and its ill affects must be replaced. It is this global celestial adventure that is currently taking place affecting all aspects of an individual. Yes, our physical, our emotional, our psychological, and even our spirituality has been, shall I call it, being transformed. Why? I am sure you asking yourself right now, and for others I can guarantee you will be asking this same question by end of the year 2020. Well, because the old can no longer exist with the new. It is that simple. Our old ways of thinking, perceiving, and behaving as we did for the last thousands of years that engulfed humanity in all kinds of negativity, and destructive behaviors are being done away with through a period of detoxification. This process has for purpose to remove all of the negative emotions that plagued humanity for thousands of years. I am not talking just a few, no sir, I am talking all of the ill feelings associated with negative and harmful human emotions. You may know some of them because none of us was immune to them. It controlled our existence, our behavior, our reality, and destiny. Yes, they cohabitated with us, and fear of being at the top of the list, followed by anger, hatred, deception, lying, all of the uncaring attitudes you could muster. Let's not forget the attitudes of violence, unscrupulousness, insensitiveness, greed, jealousy, etc., etc. The list is vast. Not one person may have them all, but history has shown that tyrants contain the majority of them. However, every human being has experienced one, and a combination of any of all of these negative emotions. In fact, they are still much prevalent throughout the globe, but thanks to the divine, and infinite Creator, all of humanity will eradicate all of these negative emotions at their appropriate time, because the new earth will not contain any of these negativity, as will you too be a new unconditional loving individual, not only what your earthly nature is but also in the complete knowledge of who you are, a divine being. To best describe what is taking place to all of humanity, let's give you an example. You all have knowledge of the life of a butterfly. It begins of course as a larva. Its initial purpose is to fulfill a destiny that is ingrained in their DNA, and it is to indulge itself in eating for a far more valuable purpose, of course, all of these depending in their survivability and determination. For those that are successful in accumulating enough energy for the quest ahead, the hard work is just about to begin. Days of laborious and hardships conditions, the larva builds the cocoon in which it will reside for a period of time. Still, during this time, the cocoon and its content are at the mercy of the weather, predators, and diseases. However, throughout all of these conditions many survive those calamities, and evolve into a creature of beauty and splendor, and even though their lives are short, for a moment they bring an unsurpassed beauty that awes us all, not only touching our hearts but also hidden emotions. This drama of beauty and splendor the butterfly goes through mirrors humanity to some degree right now. Yes, we are at that stage of preparation. In lieu of a physical cocoon to protect us from all sorts of circumstances, our consciousness, our minds becomes the cocoon that will protect from the actions of the external world. The safety and protective measure the larva seeks prior to begin construction of its protective cocoon depends in the favorable place that it can sustain not only nature's conditions but also the predators. Similarly, humanity also must seek the means to protect our current conscience evolution, keeping it from influences of the outside world, and ensuring that it can survive the transformation. What determines the human being transformation? Your attitudes are the key to it all. Yes, the attitudes and inclinations you learned from role models, and were utilized throughout your life. Now, of course, the conscience transformation required to rise above the mundane world of negativity to a level of complete and utter love, peace, and compassion, which is the beauty and splendor of the new earth, and the new humanity. Just as it is for the butterfly to keep patience and determination to reach the level for which it came to be on this earth at that precise time, so it is human endeavor on earth. We must be patient, and maintain a strong belief that all that is taken place is for our ultimate designation to be beings of peace, unconditional love, and compassion. The journey that has begun, we all must be taken. There are no priorities of rights above another one. No. We are all on a journey that has no caste, rank, or even privileges that can place above others. The only things that differentiate among humans will be our beliefs, and our attitudes regarding what is presented to humanity. That is the only differentiation, the way we think of things, and how we will react, and who is the culprit of such things, our consciousness. Therefore, if someone thinks the earth is flat, that person will adhere to that notion no matter what until he convinces himself otherwise. All of us will go through the stages necessary to achieve transformation, but equally we will also experience ascension, in which our conscience will create new ideologies, beliefs, and even acceptance of a new celestial trend unheard in all of humanity history. Oh yes, our eyes will be opened, our ears unplug, and the once deaf-mute human being will no longer be for all eternity. After this divine transformation we will not be living in the desert of emotional desolation and spiritual austerity, but rather humanity finally will be the citizens of a divine oasis in which every divine manifestation has been bestowed upon the new earth to accommodate unconditional love as the supreme emotions in all things. But the beauty does not end on the existence of just this new earth, but it is but the first step for humanity to continue ascending to higher and higher levels of consciousness. How do I know this? Well, my beloved readers, it is in the Bible. It is a divine promise, and God, the divine creator, and supreme I Am will keep this promise as he did a long time ago to Adam in the Garden of Eden. Would the new earth be like the Garden of Eden was? The answer is a yes. Currently, the earth is going to its own transformation, and ascension to higher levels of consciousness just as we are. Therefore, this spiritual transformation has for purpose one thing first: unconditional love to reign on the earth for all times. But most important, and I want you to be the first ones to become aware that all of the divine aspects taken place on our earth, it is not only for humanity to know the true identity of God, the Supreme Creator, but also not only to walk on the ways of the new truth, but also experiencing one of the greatest gifts granted to humanity, and that is to finally converse with the Supreme Creator through your higher self, who has been by your side advising you throughout all of the lives you had on this earth. You should recognize it to be as the guardian angel that accompanied you at every birth you had. Welcome to the truth, my beloved readers. Now, for the best part, my friends, as I said, the transformation is more than just transforming your conscience from the ordinary condition we had to a new consciousness in which you are your own creator of your loving reality, not influenced by others or ideologies. But as you achieved ascension, and being transformed, you will experience communication with the Supreme I Am, as I mentioned, via your higher self, your guardian angel, and as you become aware of such unity of you, the higher self, and the great I Am, you will continue ascending to higher order of consciousness, to a level of enlightenment that can only be imagined, but once experienced, you will never be the same. From that enlightened ascension, your greatest reward will be the one, only two people ever experienced, Adam and Eve. Now, in the future, it will be humanity's turn to not only talk to the great I Am but also walk with him. Just review Genesis chapter 3, and you will find that a higher level of consciousness human being as Adam and Eve converse with God. Therefore, as it was at the beginning, it shall also be at the end. It is humanity's turn now, according to the ancient texts and the words of the great masters. Humanity ascension to the new earth is but the first step to a glorious journey to not only recognizing that the human being is a divine creature. After all, is not humanity created in the image of God? It would make sense that these entire events and episodes taken place has divine purpose, right? Of course, it is. You and I in the not so far future will be able to know the truth about God, His creation, and our purpose, which was all along to walk along with Him and honor the splendor of His divine creation. You and I are divine creatures of love and peace, a divine relationship not only among a Creator and His creation, but a Supreme Father and His children. For one of the principles of this ascension and transformation is finally have the knowledge and recognize finally that we are children of God with divine virtues and gifts. And so it is.